Well, I'm back in the shop. Today I'm working on my cousin's sandrail. Now, Mark bought this thing back in 2012. We were going to go in on a deal together, but he got a little excited and went to California on his own and came back with this. And it needed a little work. And 13 years later, it's about ready for its maiden voyage. We've had a number of people over the years that have helped get this thing to where it is today. Shimmick Industries took care of completely revamping the front suspension. It had the worst bump steer, and in fact, when I took it across the whoops at Egan Lake, St. Anthony, it actually broke the steering wheel out of my hands. First, it almost ripped off my fingers, so then I really got a hold of it, but the bump steer literally ripped that steering wheel and broke it in my hands. However, we've eliminated that problem. This thing's an absolute wheelie monster. It had a 350 in it that was carbureted. That was completely horrible because as soon as we got on the side angles of the dunes, fuel was literally pouring out. I mean, this thing was a ticking time bomb for a fire, or even worse. I had a 6-liter. I threw it in there. Mark got us a Mendiola transaxle. Shimmick set us up with new axles and new brakes for the rear. They dialed in the seat mounts and everything. I've got to put an adjustment on the driver's seat because I have longer legs than Mark, and where I've got the seat set right now, he can't reach the pedals. I opted for wood blocks on the pedals. He opted for an adjustable seat. So we're doing a seat. But I had a couple of these 90s and straights welded up at LT Industries so that we can get the intake on this, because the intake we had just to get it running was this pod filter, which, I mean, with a sock on it, we'd probably be all right. It's just a little small. So another thing Shimmick hooked us up with was this awesome trophy truck style air filter assembly, which I'm mounting to this crossbar here. And then we're just coming right from the front of our engine or back of the car around the hoop here and into it. So let's get that installed and see how it looks. We still have a pretty old school mass airflow sensor, but whatever, it's gonna work. So I've got black ones for this, by the way. So we're gonna be mounting that here. So that means, be cautious of that. This here, now, I put this in here. Well, I got the wrong fittings. Apparently I need to get something like this in black because faded red won't do. But that's where our mass airflow sensor is going to fit. I think the clamps can support the weight of this tube. I was thinking originally the intake might have to be supported back here off the wing or possibly off the side here. I guess we'll just have to see how it vibrates. But all in all, I'll tighten that up, and that's the new intake setup.